Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I have my guest, special guest, Clowette. Clowette. There we go. I
Chloe.
said that wrong.
Yes.
Clowette. I
That's
said
okay.
it. So
You said
excuse
it
my
how it
French,
looked.
y'all. I'm sorry. So thank you for coming. You are a
Thank you
singer,
for having me.
songwriter, author. You are welcome. And you're a Jill of all trades, as they would say for females that, have a lot like of talents. And that is awesome. So what I'm going to do, everyone, make sure you follow Clowette at www.clowette, CLOWETTE.com. And that will introduce you to her page. And she has her music. It'll tell you about her as a person, as an artist, and it will talk about her music. It will also talk about her new album, Happy Anyway. And make sure you subscribe to her socials, not social security people, but anyway, socials. So, Clowette Music, no, Clowette, eh,
Instagram is
Instagram,
just
Clowette,
Chloe. Hmm.
Clowette, there we go. And then Clowette, no, Clowette Glows, but it comes up
That's
Clowette
the
on
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay,
Right.
YouTube,
And
there
I
we
have
go.
a Vivo on YouTube as well. So you can just type in Chloe at Vivo and then that page will come up with music videos and stuff too.
Perfect. And so I'm going to show Greedy, one of the singles off of
Mhm.
Happy Anyway, which was recently released. So everybody go check that out. And thank you
Yeah.
everybody for tuning in. I see Vicky on here. Hey.
Hey
Actually, no, Cases.
Vicky.
I say Cases. I don't know why I said Vicky. I know that's your real name, but I always
Oh,
call you by
that's
Cases.
my boo right there. When you said Vicky, I thought you were just talking about a Vicky. I didn't
And
know you was
Maisha.
talking about
Yeah.
Vicky.
Hey.
Hey
And
Vicky.
Jacinta. Hey, everybody. So we're
Hey
going to go ahead.
Jacinta. Jay. Long live Boogie.
Sorry to cut you off, everybody.
That's okay.
Can y'all hear the music?
You,
Stay
you
on my
might want to
nerve. Get off it, yeah.
big.
Just stop talking. Stop talking.
Can you hear the
Get on my
music?
nerve.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you.
You can? Okay, perfect. I was just making sure because one time I didn't hear music. Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna have to put you out. Put you out. Evict you out my heart and out my life. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put you out. Evict you from my heart and out my life. Just not tonight, cause you just bought me shrimp and fries. You know I'm greedy. And if you gon' keep on bothering me, you better give me something to eat. Out my life. You know I'm greedy. And if you don't give me something to eat, get out of my life. Get on my nerve, that drama, that's just that's not you. Get on my nerve, and how much more I can be.
Now, y'all know I gotta stop it because YouTube gonna come for me. So
Okay.
please go to her page to finish the rest of it. But as you can see, that sounded really dope, and it was giving a good vibe. As always, we like good vibes over here, and
Goodbye.
just sounds like hey, we're not taking it. We're greedy. We're hungry. We're gonna go get what we want, and if you don't like it, bye. So,
But you know what? I got to give you some intel about greedy.
okay.
So first of all, I'm trying to figure out where I'm looking at because I'm looking at myself and it's like I'm looking off. If I'm looking like this, am I looking at everybody now? Like I'm looking
You're
straight?
looking at everybody. Hold on. Let me
Okay.
stop the screen so then I could bring you. I'm gonna bring you your screen in so
Okay.
make you bigger.
All right.
So
So a little bit of intel about greedy. So that song, of course, is about food. It's about, being greedy with the food that you like. I love me some good food. Who don't love food? Food is so sentimental. Food is emotional. It's nostalgic. It's artistic. It's family. It's everything. But it's some like undertones with greedy. Greedy is about you wanting what you want and needing what you need in order for your peace and happiness, whatever that looks like. And it's about, it's kind of got like it's not selfish, but it's a self-care, self-love, being greedy with your time, being greedy with your love, being greedy with your space if that's necessary. And it's not selfish to have self-care is not selfish. So it's kind of like on that's like another undertone. And then it's like another switch around where it's the counterpart of greedy. So here it is, just speaking in women in general, anybody, but speaking about women, how we're greedy. Like our dude might ask us if we want something and we be like no, and then we be eating his food. Or like I seen this meme that said if you text her in the middle of the night you hungry instead of what's up, you might get a reply. So like, you know, we really are greedy, like literally we're greedy, but on the flip side of it, you got the counterpart, the person on the other side of it, or something on the other side of it that's supporting that greed or that's giving you what you need in abundance. And so it's like this delicious cycle really going on. And like me speaking personally, that would be my husband. That's my greedy supporter, literally with the food and with everything else, like giving me my space and giving me my time, supporting me with my art and my gifts, not being intimidated by my mind. And he just allows me to be greedy with all of the things that I need and want to make myself a better wife for him, a better mother, a better woman. And so it's like this whole move on greedy. Greedy is like, you know, it's just this unapologetic self-love. That's the season it is. And, you know, greedy is about all of that with some shrimp and fries on the side.
That was a great explanation. Like, definitely when I listened to it, I was like, okay, I definitely got what I said earlier, and then the blend of what you said too. And I was like, okay. And it's very close to home because as a black female, we deal with that. And even as a woman too. But as a black female with the self-care, with the mental health, and how a lot of people in the community, some of us do not embrace it. And in terms of like you have to take time out to help yourself, meaning
Right.
you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to
Right.
take those breaks. You have to take that vacation. You
Mm.
have to spend time, even if you off of work and you don't go nowhere, you sit at the home and you're just sleeping. That's important. Like your body will start to shut down and then you're
Your mind.
dead somewhere. And that's not, a good thing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's real. You know, it took me a long time to get to that place where I I felt that I even deserved self-care, let alone wanting it and properly loving myself. It took me to go through a tragedy. It took me to go through the worst tragedy that I've been through, which was losing my only sister. And that was my first
Sorry.
death. Thank you. It was my first
You're
death in
welcome.
our immediate family. And I mean, it hit us, it tore us up, hit us hard. And me and my sister were like, okay, connected at the hip. Anybody that knew me knew that me and her was just inseparable. She was everything to me. She was my best friend. She was my comedic relief, my own suicide hotline, my second thought, my thought checker, my uh oh, she was my second mother. She was my biggest fan. She just happened to be my only sister too. She just happened to be my only sister too. So when she left us on this side of eternity, I didn't realize how much she had been caring for me so well and loving me so well that I didn't even need to do it in certain areas. And it just showed me how much I was lacking. It showed me how much I was missing. Um just not having that. And so I had to make a choice. I had to decide to survive. I had to decide that to heal on purpose, to be happy on purpose. I had to decide that. And when I decided that, I had to love myself and care for myself in order to survive without that source. And it's not to discredit anybody else, like my parents or my other siblings. We had two brothers, and so we're all a very close-knit family, our immediate family, but me and my sister just always had a special relationship, just a different relationship. And it was crazy. It was crazy. It's like everybody talk about the agony of death, and they talk about the pain, and we always hear that and we see that amplified, but a lot of people don't highlight on that fire that it puts up under you when you lose that person. And they don't highlight how like you just get this beam inside of you. In the case with my sister, it was like her death took away everything I was scared of and made me something to fear. So that part is actually a beautiful side to death, as eerie as that sounds. and that don't make me want to go through it, and that don't make me want to feel it more often. But there is a beautiful side to it, and that's what it did to me. It took my sister to die and not be able to physically lavish her love on me anymore for me to start deciding that I even wanted to love myself, let alone that I deserve love. So and that's kind of the whole mood with my whole album. It's in different ways that I, you know, it's different ways I project it, but my whole album is kind of just like self-love, being doing you, doing whatever you want, do whatever you want, just don't hurt people, and it's just about that. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It took something super dark to bring me in the light. We all so heartbroken. We're all just so heartbroken. But that's how the light get in. So
That's true. And prayers to y'all, and God keep comforting your hearts. And yeah, because it's tough losing somebody, especially when you're close with that person, and that's just it's everything. So I definitely get it.
yeah, it is. And but I have a lot of stuff to I got a lot of reasons. I got a lot of reasons to keep fighting. My sister, she had one child,
Oh,
the only child, and her father was never in her life. It was always
mm,
just um, her and my sister. They were the epitome of mother and daughter. And when my sister passed, she left me everything, even her child. And so
mm.
I have my niece now. So I don't know if we're gonna wait to get into that later for me to hit you with the kids, because I don't know if you already know how many kids we got. But on one of my songs on my album is called 251. I say my 8 babies is 9 babies now. So that's what it is. I got 8 babies. Me and my husband have 8 children, and now we got 9 with my niece. And yeah, just like this right here. I don't know if everybody can see it. A whole movement changing the narrative of what a woman is, what a woman in pain is, what a woman that has been through trauma is, what a mother is, what a wife is. All of that. We bearing the kids, we bearing the pain, we getting back to business.
Amen. Yes, I did read. I did. I read the information about the children. I just always allow the guests to speak on those because like I just yeah, because some sometimes people will say things that might be something that you should not say. You allow the special guest to say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like just on a respectful, yeah,
Yeah, I just didn't want to put it out there too soon. I didn't know if you had like a little agenda, because I got the curse of Gab now. Okay, so don't be afraid to
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah.
because I'll be going and going and going, and then this thing will be off, and then me and you will be talking past that. So, no, but it's just yeah, that's like my story is just about me being me and everything that makes me me. And one of the biggest things that makes me me is being a wife and a mother. And yeah, I'm here to try to change the narrative, try to change the narrative. I've been doing what I've been doing for a very long time, since I was a young girl. And I'm just, at the point in my life where, I don't, there's nothing that I need from the industry. And not a curse, is a blessing. Okay, Maisha the Great, if she say it, it's so. But
Amen.
yeah, I'm at a point in my life where I don't need there's nothing that I need that I have to sacrifice the most important things in my life for. I have everything that I could ever ask for. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. I have everything that I could need. I have my children, everybody's alive and well, my husband, my parents, my husband's parents are alive. Our children have both sets of their grandparents, which that's something I didn't even come up with. Yes, my sister recently left us on this side of eternity, but everybody else is still here as well. All the nieces and nephews, my brothers, And it's just so many things. You know, I'm in my right mind. I am in my right
Amen.
mind. I am in my right mind. And that is everything, because when I tell you, sometimes I be wondering if I'm slipping on out. I say to myself, I say, let me write down what's going on in my life right now. So when I do get crazy, I can bring my own self back. But I know that I'm in my right mind. I'm in my right mind. And it's just so many things that I have to be thankful for. And, you know, this music is just a part of my artistry. I do art on many other levels. And music is just something that comes so natural to me. I've been singing since I was a little girl. I never had any formal training. I didn't grow up in a choir in a church. I write and arrange all my music. My husband does majority of my production. Some of it I'm co-producing. I do my own vocal recording. I do my own makeup. I do my own costuming. I direct my videos. I edit. I do everything. So I don't need no machine. There's nothing that I need. So everything that I'm doing is because I want to do it. I want to do it. It's because I love it. I love it. I'm not doing it for any type of superficial reason. So you can rest assured, if you come and see me perform live or whatever you listening to, it came from a pure, pure, pure source. Like, I mean, there's songs on my album that was one take. It was one take under that situation. It was what it was. One song in particular, this song called One Day, that I did about my, just how I felt about this initial sting of my sister's death. And I cannot sing and cry. Okay, some people can do that and they can get all emotional and say, I can't. So if I get that upset and I'm crying, it's gonna be all over the place, and that's what I'm not gonna do. You know, like Minnie don't burn chicken, Clowette don't hit no bad notes. So I'm not gonna sing and cry. So it was so hard for me to get through that song, but I got through it, and that was once I did whatever you hear, whether it's an ad lib or a verse. Once I did it, that was it. And that's what was there. So if anybody listens to that song one day, or somebody technical or some type of engineer background, and they're like, oh, I thought I heard some static, or was that a bracelet in there? Yes, it was, because that was it. And that's what it was. And so my album, I did this stuff under just humble circumstances. It was something that I had to do, something I had to finish, something me and my sister started, I had to finish, because I thought my voice died with my sister. I could not sing. I don't know why, but I couldn't even sing for her service. But when I woke up one day and my voice was still there, I never stopped singing from that moment, in the purpose that I was singing. And that's what that album came from. That was my own counseling. They tried to put me in counseling. They tried to do all this other stuff. They couldn't help me, because they don't understand. You know, some people don't have a sister, or some people do have a sister and they're not that close to them, or some people have a sister and they weren't as wonderful as my sister. They don't understand. And so I got myself through that. I'm a self-healer, and I'm still working through it. But my album was pure. Everything that's there is pure. It came straight from me under my circumstances. I might have been recording in Indian style with a baby somewhere down there making snow angels on the ground or something. And that's how it was. I was hungry. If I have a song and I said I was broke or something like that, where I was hungry and I was broke during that song. If I sound like Tracy Chapman on the song, it's because I was sick. I was fat, sick, and nearly dead. And that's what it was.
Gotcha. So talk about Come Back with Marcus Machado. So I listened to that.
That's
and I was like, okay, yeah. Because you know, he on the guitar. And so yeah, I definitely know like when he was put on that, I was like, okay, I already know this is gonna be fire. It's gonna be added fire. I already know.
Right, that part. So with Come Back with Marcus Machado. So this song, so quickly, my album goes in an order, and it goes in an order of, this was basically like, it was just kind of like my grief journey. I just hit 2 years from burying my sister, and it was like I went through this journey. So come back. What that was an area I was in. I don't know if I should call it journey. I guess it's stages of grief. Even though
Mhm.
you know it don't take 2 years, because I realized that I'm going off a little off again. Now I'm starting to cry off stupid stuff, and I just it's all kind of stuff starting to happen to me that I thought I was over. But I was in a stage with come back where you ever known somebody that's in your life and they may be family, they may be a close friend, but somebody really kind of close in your life, but they kind of foul, like they something ain't right. It's their intentions are just kind of mucky,
Mhm.
and you kind of tolerate it because you don't want no trouble and you don't want no confrontation, and you try not to be judgmental and you try to be, but it just be disturbing your energy, and you put up with it for whatever reason, and different things in your life make you be like so my
Mhm.
sister closing her eyes was a for me. So I
Mm.
stopped dealing with that from anybody. I don't care who it was. I don't care if they were my blood kin, a best friend for 20 years. I don't care who it was. So that energy, I just couldn't deal with it no more. And when you notice it, and that person knows how they are, they know what they spewing out. They know what they are. And when they are seen, they kind of exit the building themselves. They escort this. You don't have to put them out. They kind of escort themselves out your life. And that's what comeback was about. Like the hook I'm saying, I know you don't want to come back no more because you're exposed, leaving my energy disturbed. Like you don't even have to tell them. You ever just have people that just kind of disappear and dissipate out your life that's been extra
Mhm.
anyways, and you should have been showed them the door, but they know that you was tolerating them. But
Yeah.
yeah, we see you. So that's what comeback was about. Like, you got my energy disturbed, and you ain't got to go forever. Like on my bridge, I say, when it don't feel right, you can see the pain in their eyes, but you got to get right before you stick around in my life. So you got to get right, And another one of my lyrics in my second verse, I say, just because I can see you, you can't blame it on me. It's your inner grind that peeks its head out in the most inopportune time. You're exposed. You got on shoes, but they open toed. Now we know who you are. So go find your truth and clean your heart. You got some work to do before you're going to stick around in my life, because this area right here is clean. And it's not a negative thing. There's nothing on my album that's negative, and it may come off as some stuff like attitude-ish, like my song Glowing. I started off, if you don't like me, don't look at me. It's not attitude. It's just, this is enough. I'm enough, and this is enough, and this is what we're going to do for peace and happiness. Now, so I did that song, and then I got to come to Marcus Machado. And, oh, God, I can't say enough about him. Okay, I love me some Marcus. He is like, it's like, those people that you meet and you feel like you've known them forever. And they like, God, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe we was like cousins in another life when we was cats or something. I don't know. But you just automatically trust him. He's such a genuine, honest person. His sister Vicky as well, Cassis, they're just an amazing family, talented, wonderful. But Marcus, I met him a couple years ago, and we've been like collaborating, doing little things. I featured with him live when he came out to my city and performed and stuff like that. But when we did that song, it was a vibe. But my husband did the music production, and he was like, it's just I feel like it's like missing something. We just sat there, and he was like, Marcus. He was like, Marcus. So the beautiful part about it. When I hit Marcus up, now Marcus is a busy man. He's a busy man, rightfully so. And he is, here and there and everywhere with his gift. And when I hit him up, I didn't think that he wouldn't do it, but I didn't think that he would, be able to do it so soon. Or I didn't think that he would be, I don't know. I just thought there was going to be some kind of wrench in the gears. And when I hit him up, he was so efficient. He instantly was like, yes, I'll do it. I got you. I'll do it. And then I was like, okay, well, I said, I'm gonna send you the stuff, but I'm like, I really like it by this time, but if you can't understand, just work it out. He was on it. I gave it to him within days. He had it back. He was like, I did it. Here's the wave files. Here's this. Here's that. He was so efficient to be so busy and to be pulled so many ways. And in many ways, he was a lot popular than I am. I've dealt with people in the industry to where if I'm not, so to speak, on their status, they treated me as such. It didn't matter how talented I was or whatever. If I wanted to do something or ask them about something, they kind of put me on the back burner like she ain't nobody, because I guess they couldn't benefit from my platform, or so to speak. He was nothing like that. He was nothing like that. And he finished it, and then he just was like, oh man, you was killing on this song. And he gave it just what it needed. It's like that guitar is so sexy, and then funky, and then classical, and then it's something like, so it's soft, like him, like I consider him like he's more of a soft man in a way, not in that way. Like I consider my husband like this too. He has a very meek heart.
Mm-hmm.
He's very approachable and personal, and that's in his plan. And it's so crazy how he can have that much calmness and that much peace in the way he plays, but it's so electric.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me just what I needed with Comeback, and I'm just still through the roof and so grateful that he blessed my album by featuring on my song Comeback. Thank you, Marcus.
It was a great collaboration. Like, I was like, okay, I was really listening for everything. I listened to it a couple of times. I'm like, okay, did I hear that right? Okay, let me go back and listen to that.
I'm
Like
glad
different sounds. Yeah.
I'm glad you listened. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm just grateful for everything. I'm grateful for every little thing, every moment, every person. Everybody matters. Everything is so important to me. And yes, I'm just thankful for it.
So in terms of artistry, like where do you see yourself as an artist?
What do you mean? Like, what
in terms of music wise, like with this album, it was a process, as everything is a process, right?
Mm.
But with this album, you touched on you used the grief from a loved one passing, and that helped you, right? So
Right.
where do you see yourself as an artist, like in terms of going?
I see myself as an artist, if that makes any sense. Like, people, I may not be a household name, I may never be a household name, and people may not, the masses may not know about me, but there's many people on the inside that know me. They know what I do, they know what I bring to the table, they know who I am. And I consider myself probably an artist. Like, I may not make it to perform on a Super Bowl, but some of those major artists might have me do something at a private event for them. I don't know. I consider myself that, but then times are so different now with social media and us like kind of handling our own marketing, and that anything is possible. Anything is possible. So, I have a excellent publicist now, Maisha,
Yes.
who is single-handedly changing my career for the better. And she's what I never knew I always needed. And you hear stuff like manager, and you hear all these different things like a manager or a booking agent, and these different things that are important in certain areas. But I think a publicist was something I was most ignorant about. I've always been told, like I've always had people wanting to be my manager, or told me that I needed a manager, or that I needed this or needed that. But I didn't know anything about publicists as much. And I didn't know how it was necessary. And now I see that a publicist for me as an artist is probably the golden goose of everything, because there's so many things that I don't need, that I bring to the table myself, that all I need is to be seen and heard. That's it. All I need is to be seen and heard. You know, I'm not gonna be some people cup of tea, but then I'm gonna be the cup of tea for some people. But I don't think I'm gonna have that many in betweens. You either feel me and you get me, or you don't. And I just need to be seen. I just need to be heard, and that is what Maisha at Asante Works is making sure that happens, and that is taking things to another level with me as an artist. So I think anything is possible now. You know, I'm kind of like a quirky, whimsical type person. I don't know if you could tell. And I don't necessarily fit the bill of the typical Black woman. And then in some areas, sometimes in some areas I do. Because like my kids, you're not gonna jump on my couch and you're not gonna write my walls. Yes, I'm that mama and I'm that, yes. But on the other end, like I love anime and I I love oh gosh, I love so many quirky things, and I collect I collect movies, movie replicas, and I even my art that I make, my art says a lot about me. Like it's really 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 whimsical and quirky and odd. And so before in music as an artist, I wanted to explore these other areas, these other markets, like internationally, and just these other areas where I'm contrasted, where, even music, like I am like genre free. I will be in a genre so that I can be categorized somewhere, so that I guess the people that are helping me to get where I need to get can just understand how to market me or whatever. But I can do anything, and I enjoy doing anything. Yes, I am. If y'all can see that. But I can do anything. Like I can sing country, I can sing rock and roll, I can sing jazz, I can sing blues, I can sing R&B, folk singing. It don't matter. Like all of that stuff is inside me. And so I have had a hard time in the past trying to reach those other areas, especially in music. They just want to put me straight line. When I was a little younger, I tell my kids I used to be attractive, y'all. I used to be fine. And that's what they tried to exploit on. I was introduced with my first record deal at like 15 years old from Warner Brothers. And they would to exploit me at that age. I could write then. I would write, arrange on the same level. I was writing for others, and all they wanted is for me to show my body off and and do other stuff. And so that was like really hard for me, because I was determined not to get nowhere on my back, and I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't have to, and I knew that as a young girl, and I probably could have been somewhere light years so far now, had I done some of the things that they wanted me to do. But I just knew that I had so much more to offer, and timing is everything. And this is the time that it is for me to be accepted. Now that people are doing, they're opening up to different things, they're opening up to crossing genres and and aesthetics and stuff like that. So me having Maisha having Asante Works, listen, me having that, and she's already on the same like wavelength that I'm on, it's a rapture.
It's always great when you have someone who can understand you and like is not out to sell your soul to the devil, because we see that a lot in the industry, unfortunately. And it's great to have people that are supportive and positive and allow you to grow and to blossom and to fly like a butterfly. And that's always great. And like, yeah, you mentioned like a lot of things, like so you said anime, like I like anime. And then a couple of things like, okay, I got that in common with her. Like, cause you, I see you like my rich best friend, one of my rich best friends.
Who?
Hello Kitty.
Oh, no, let me tell you something. My sister,
I say rich best friend because she always get in the bag. Hello Kitty is always on some collaboration. Oh my God, and people used to always like hate on the fact that I liked Hello Kitty because she don't got no smile. And I said, but you know why she doesn't have a smile? Because Sanrio created her to be for everybody. So if you're sad, if you're happy, if you're black, if whatever
Right.
you are, she represents us all. And
Right.
so that's why she stays getting the bag. She's
Listen,
universal. So
my sister loved Hello Kitty. She loved Hello Kitty like so much. I like Hello Kitty. I like Sanrio
yeah,
and everything, but she
yeah.
loved so much so that me and her were supposed to get these sister tattoos, matching tattoos,
Aw.
and I got a Hello Kitty for her, and she punked out halfway through my Hello Kitty. So now I'm stuck with this Hello Kitty on my ankle. And my sister never, she was like, oh girl, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I have Hello Kitty tattooed on me because of my sister. But no, Hello Kitty is like, do you know Hello Kitty is a person? Did you
Yeah,
know?
she's a girl. She's like 40 years old now. She just had an anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a
Yep.
documentary and it was like it's not a cat. It's supposed to be a
It's
person.
a
I
person.
don't know why
Yeah.
he made it
Yep.
as a cat, but she's not a cat. That's kind of
Yep.
funny.
I told somebody that and they thought I was crazy. I
No,
said,
it's a
no, you'll
documentary.
find out. It's yeah. Yeah.
Hello
Yeah.
Kitty. Hello Kitty is that girl. She that girl.
Yeah. She got more money than a lot of people.
Hello Kitty got an airline.
Yes.
But
She
the
got a
Hello Kitty
credit card. Okay.
And
Yes.
speaking of Hello Kitty, so my books, I'm an
Mhm.
author and illustrator, published author
Yep.
and illustrator of my own series of children's books, these whimsical
That's
children.
awesome.
And I got it right here. I'm ready to plug them. See, and my main character, her name is Tissy Rose, and she's like this little melting pot, little West Indies kind of like Caribbean girl, and I want Tissy Rose to be like Hello Kitty. I want everything, merchandising. I've done like everything for her, and I love, and because I love the Japanese culture and anime so much, my books are in English and in Japanese too.
That's good.
So like this is my and I illustrated it as well. So this is my English version. They're hand binded here in the Bay Area. They're gorgeous. They're all on sale online. And then this is my Japanese version. And it everything is like they do it, like it opens backwards, like Japanese, and yeah. So I have a really good friend that's Osaka, and she's from Osaka, and she translated my book. But
That's good.
I want my Tissy Rose. I want her everywhere like that. I want everything for Tissy Rose. I have created like everything, dolls, everything for her. But yeah, Hello Kitty.
Where can we find the book at?
You can get the book online. You can go on my website, tissyrose.net, TISSYROSE.net, and it'll link you off to Etsy is where I'm selling the books right now. They're on my Etsy store. But like people can contact me like whatever, and I can do personal transactions with them. My book, I've gotten it like it's a lot. Even the actor Hill Harper, he has my book, and
That's
he has
good.
made art toys that I did, and I was just so grateful for for it's just so many things, like even my little art toys that I do. I don't know if you was looking into that, but so I create these creatures they're called pobbles. They're little aquatic rock creatures, and they started from out of my book. They were characters I used to draw in my book because I'm obsessed with rocks and water. I have been rock hounding for like over 20 years. I source my own stones. I find gemstones, agates, whatever. I polish them myself, everything. So I would draw these little creatures that were like rocks with these cute little eyes and little faces or whatever. And then I start actually making them. So like, I start actually making them. So this is an actual rock. This is my sister's Bible. And then I make the glass eyes. I'm a glass artist, and I sculpt right onto them. I do sculpture like ceramic and clay, and I sculpt right on them. And I sell these all over the world. My pebbles. Yes, these are stones.
Those are cute.
So I give this is an actual rock and stone, and then I just seamlessly onto them. And I have a website for that, and I'm on Instagram with that too. And so I have made these like I sell them to everybody. A lot of people don't even know that I'm the same person that's behind the books or behind the pobbles or the singer. And my friend Carvin Haggins, he keeps telling me, mix both of them. You need to mix them both, put them all together, the music and the art. But sometimes how the world is set up, until it has accepted me on a certain status, so to speak, it's hard for them to accept me doing all of those things at the level that I do them at. You know, because a lot of times people like insert themselves in it. And they be like, well, how she do that? How is she this good at this? It's like they expect me to say I have to be really good at one thing, but not as good at the others. And I do my art and my writing and my books on the same level that I sang on and that I arrange songs and everything. So I want to start combining it more, but I find that I get I don't say a negative reaction, but people, I think it's just a lot for them. It's just a lot, and they don't know where to place it, and they only had a capacity to celebrate me, a quality celebration of me in one area. So right now, it's still kind of separated, but they all in the same thing. But yeah,
That's good. That's really good. Because right now, that's like really good that a lot of Black people are starting to become authors. So now that people have books that look like them and see representation.
right.
And I mean, we just got the Little Mermaid,
Yeah,
that's awesome. And
we
little girls are crying and everything at
watch.
the movie theater. So, wish I could be under the sea, part of your world, or whatever that
Girl,
song
don't get me
is. Yeah.
started on that Little Mermaid. You hear me? Oh, don't get
Yeah.
my childhood, my childhood best friend. We watched that movie. Me, her, and her sister. Oh gosh, we watched that movie over and over and over again. I mean, literally 15 to 20 times a day, every
Mm.
day. And that was back when there was the VHSs,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
my
yeah.
brother used to have to rewind it, and they used to call him in there, and they'd be like, "Yeah, rewind that movie for them." And he was like, "I see, that's why I hate that movie." He was like, "Y'all always watching. I hate that movie." To this day, he was like, "Man, I hate that movie," because he would have to rewind it for us. Listen, and my
Mhm.
best friend, she is flying here all
Aw.
the way from where she is at. She's flying here with her daughter, and we're taking our daughters to see Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid because it's just so full circle and it's so nostalgic. So, like, oh, don't get me started on that, yeah. Because this ain't about
Yeah,
Halle. Halle got her stuff. She got her deals. This is about me.
yeah. Amen. So in terms of I guess like who do you listen to? Who are some people that you listen to?
Music.
Yeah.
So I love all kinds of music, but because of my dad, yes, because my dad. I don't know if anybody can see these comments because I'm reading them. So I hope I don't look crazy because I'm reading them and they got me rolling. Okay, so yeah, so my dad, he would play his records every weekend. It was like a ritual. He would put on records. We have a little crowd board because I'm from Florida, born and raised in Florida.
Okay.
And so that's what we did in the South. We'd be put on some crabs or crab or
Mm.
something. And every weekend he would play his old records. And so that's probably a big foundation of my music. So because my dad would do that, I know like one hit wonders from the 60s. So
Mm.
I love Bobby Womack, Otis Redding, The Persuasions, Joe Tex, Sam and Dave, Aretha Franklin, like all just that was like Al Green. My dad would have me and my sister sing the little backgrounds of Al Green while he was singing one part, and me and my sister lay your head. We just sang it all apart. And so I got an old soul when it comes to that. But of course, like I absolutely love Michael Jackson. I love Prince. Oh,
Yes.
like Michael
Yes.
Jackson and Prince are probably like at the top for me, like after the 70s music. Um, I love, gosh, you know what? I love songs. I love
Mhm.
Stevie Wonder. No, let me leave Stevie
Yes.
out there. But I mean, I love songs even from artists that I may not be, that crazy about. I don't care if the song is good and I feel it. I love the song. Like one of my favorite songs is Toxic by Britney Spears. Like I love that. Right. Me and my
Yeah.
sister love that song to death. Like I love that song. And I like Brandy. I like Brandy with Rodney Jerkins. I like that combination. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I like Aaliyah. I like a
Yes.
singer named Donnie that is from out of Atlanta. He was like an independent artist, and his album was called A Colored Section. I mean, I love, 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 love his music. Um, I don't know. I like all kind of music. I just like I like James Taylor. I love
Mm-hmm.
his voice. Like I love James Taylor. I like Randy Travis. I like I don't know. I just like things. I like all kinds of music. I'm inspired by like so many types of music. I listen to my own music. You know, some
Mm-hmm.
people don't may not admit that, or maybe they just really don't, but I really literally listen to my own music. Like if I get on a plane and I'm on a plane for a while, I put my AirPods in and I'm listening to myself. I listen to myself for some reason. It gets me motivated. Like if I'm trying to work out, if I'm jogging, I listen to myself. Oh no. One song that I'm obsessed with lately
Mm-hmm.
is Masego, You Never Visit Me. Okay.
Yes, Masego.
What
Yes.
song? You ever had a song that you just mad that it ain't yours?
Oh,
I'm
it's a lot of them. A
I'm
lot of.
mad
I
that it
think it's
ain't
a lot
mine.
of them.
I'm like, I just
Yeah.
want that song to be mine. I want it to be mine. I'm like, why couldn't I have come up with that? Why couldn't my husband make that beat? I want that song. But no, I'm crazy about that song. And yes, I love that song. But I don't miss so many people that I don't want to miss. Like, gosh, Tony. You know, every New Edition.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
many things that I like. I know I done missed it, Lord. James Brown,
Yes.
Donna Summer.
Yes.
And to be quite honest, like I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan. I think she's super
That's
talented.
okay.
I think she sings like she
Yeah.
has crazy skills. I think she's gorgeous, but I'm not like the biggest Beyonce fan. But there's so
Yeah.
many songs that I like from Beyonce. Like I
Yeah.
really like a lot of her songs. I like Destiny Child stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like B2K. Okay, I like all kind of stuff. I don't care. My taste in music range from oh that's the bomb to don't judge me.
Eclectic. Like, yeah, I get it. I
Yeah, see,
get it. Yeah, that's how mine is. That's how
um,
mine is. Like,
I forgot Terrence Trent
yeah.
D'Arby. I
Yes.
forgot all my
Yes.
my eclectic
Yeah.
people. I can't believe
Yeah.
I go on. Bob Marley, I love Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Buju Banton, oh God, that's the anthem
Yeah.
of Florida. We killed Buju Banton. Oh gosh, so many songs. I know I missed so many people, but
Yeah. I mean, but that's good. There's nothing wrong with being eclectic because, like, I be all over the place with my people. Like, one day I'm probably on Jamiroquai.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's S Club 7. I mean, yeah,
Radiohead and
Radiohead.
what is that?
Yeah,
I like all of those, and then that's another thing.
Third Eye Blind. I mean, it's
Listen,
yeah, yeah,
all of it.
yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
baby of my family, and my siblings, were even the youngest sibling to me was 4 years older than me, so I'm
Mhm.
like the baby, and I know so many like my repertoire and my catalog of music is so vast because I was getting fed from older, more experienced sources. So my older brother, when he would come, like he was the one, he would come with the music and he like, y'all listen to this. And it was almost like Bible, like, okay, well, he said this is so even if we weren't going for it, we still gonna listen to it. But no, we liked it anyways.
Mhm.
But he would come and introduce stuff. Like he's the one who introduced us to it's a singer, I think he's from UK and his name is Omar. Is it Omar? I
What's
just
the song? What's the
goes
song?
nothing like this, not even remotely like this. It's like a little jazzy
I've
song.
heard that before, but
Listen,
I don't know who it is, but I've heard that song
yeah,
before. Yeah,
it's an
I know
older
what you're
song,
talking about.
but
Yeah.
he put us on that. He put us on Jamiroquai. Like it was
Mhm.
him that brought us. Like y'all listen to this. This is dope. And he's kind of eclectic with his music taste as well. So like I just know a lot of stuff that I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't know for my age, or maybe I shouldn't be as know it like I know it. Like just like I like Tony Tone.
Mhm.
But I know Tony Tone from Little Walter, like that album.
Hey, little
Yes,
water.
yeah, that's him.
Wade
That's
in the water, which is
yep.
wade in the water.
Yeah, I know. So a
People
lot of
don't
people
know
know
that
them
though. Yeah.
straight from Feels Good and Whatever You Want, but
Yeah.
I know them from the first album because of my brother, because my siblings. So God, there's so many people. I don't forgot. Mint Condition.
Yes.
Oh God.
That's who I want them to go against in verses. If they ever do a verses, Tony Tone, and
Really?
well, either Raphael Sadiq and what's his name? Stokely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah. That'd
wow.
be perfect.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's funny because Raphael Sadiq, he is. I was supposed to do my first album with him, and at the time he was on the contract doing a artist named Josh Stone, her album, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't actually ever get to that project. But the way I would describe, I was just talking to one of the original members of the group. Oh yeah,
Diggable Planets. Yeah, they awesome in concert. I love
I
them.
can't forget him. Not even did my brother introduce us to the group. He literally introduced us to he brought Doodlebug to my mama's house.
Wow.
He was like really deep into music, and my brother's been in entertainment, and he's been doing it for a long time, my big brother. So
awesome.
not only introducing us, like he literally would introduce us to the actual people. So I can't believe I forgot David Planets. But
yeah, they're awesome. They whole vibe, that whole concert, I got to see them, and I was like, I felt like I was back in 90s when the whole acid jazz thing came on to forefront. With what's the one group? Brand New Heavies.
Brand New Heavies, yes.
Yeah.
Brand New Heavies. Man, listen, look, I know it. I know all of it. I know all of it. I don't know. What was I saying though before
you were talking about working with Raphael. You were supposed to work with Raphael Sadiq, but then he was working with Josh Stone.
Right. But I wanted to touch a little bit on that since we talking about Tony. I can't leave this. So, the original band is 6 of them. It was 6 or 7 of them. It wasn't the 3 that everybody knows. They would kind of put them in the forefront, but they were always a band, like Mint Condition. And and a lot of the original members, most of them are still in the Bay Area, and I have a relationship with them. I actually just did a song with them on their upcoming album. But we were just talking about it, me and one of the original members, Elijah Baker. And we were talking about Raphael Sadiq's singing style, and it's funny you was like him and Stokely. Raphael Sadiq has character. In my opinion, he's got like a lot of character, but he may not do the acrobatics and stuff that some singers do. So it's his character. And the same thing with Stokely. Like Stokely be doing a little acrobatics too, but they got such a distinct character to their voice that would probably be a dope versus.
Yeah. And plus you always recognize who it is. Like you could tell their voice is they have something, like nobody sounds like, well, I mean, it might be somebody who probably sound like them, but like I haven't heard anybody that sound, which is good to sound like yourself, of course.
That's what I want to be. I want to sound like myself. What you think? I'm going to turn the interview around on you. What do you think? Do you feel like I sound like myself or something? Because I have heard people come to me and say Fantasia, Brandy, what was the other one? Somebody just said to me the other day, and it was something I hadn't heard.
I get a mixture, but not a sound. So okay. Of course, Fantasia and Little Mo can sing. They both can sing. Y'all can sing. But like, I get a vibe. Like I get like the whole like y'all. For instance, they've been around for a while. Like in terms of like they've been here before. I get that vibe from you. Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Oh, wow.
With talent, yeah.
But I want to know, do I sound like me? Like, am I distinctive? Like people,
I feel like you sound like yourself.
That's what I want.
You probably have some inspirations or whatnot.
I got inspiration.
But I would have to like listen to more, like to see. But I feel like right now, you.
Yes. Thank you for that. It was wonderful doing this.
Somebody said India Ari. I didn't get that, but I didn't get that. But I mean, she's talented, but I didn't get that with it.
You know what it is? I think it's my vibrato and just kind of I guess the texture, the soulful texture of my voice, they just kind of connected with whoever else gives them that feeling. But I've had people tell me like that my talking voice is distinctive. I didn't see Asante Work say I have a distinctive voice. I've had people tell me, oh, thank you. I've had people tell me that my talking voice is so distinctive. I have like talked to somebody over the phone. It could be for anything, say a chiropractor office or something. And then I don't call that office again for like 3 years. And then I'll call back and I'll be like, hi, this is, the patient. And say, I remember your voice. People do me like that all the time. So I don't know what I sound like talking that they know. So I'm hoping that that went over. into my singing, because I want to be me. I'm inspired by so many.
Yeah.
It's just in me. I can't help it. I'm inspired by. I feel like my only vocal coach, and I have to give credit to, would be Whitney Houston songs on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I would be singing her songs. Me and my sister would sing her songs to the top of our lungs. We sweating on the top of our lip just like her. That was my vocal coach. It was Whitney. If you could sing a Whitney song.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, I mean, I guess like another thing, like for some people, it's hard for them to find their sound. Like a lot of artists, they will say that like it's hard for them to find that and to really like step out of what what they're inspired by. And there's nothing wrong with being inspired, but you got to have your own sound too. And like a lot of the people now, it's like they all, to me, what I noticed, they all either sound like they want to do. It's nothing wrong with doing the runs and the riffs and all that stuff, but it's like, okay, I'm hearing a lot of Aaliyah. I'm hearing a lot of Whitney, like with the runs. I'm hearing a lot of Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill, and they're dope. Don't get me wrong, but I'm hearing a lot of people that sound like that, and it's like, but we already have or had those artists. So it's like, who are you as an artist?
Right.
So that's good that you have that distinctiveness in your sound.
It's funny you said that, because when I was doing this album, I surrendered to some stuff that I had never done before when it comes to like my sound, my style.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I've been through things in my life to where I would consider myself having battling with this. Sorry about that. Battling with this toxic cocktail of vanity and self-hatred. And I had this low self-esteem in certain areas about so many things. I was so self-conscious about different things with my body and just myself. And then on the flip side, I'd be through the roof about something to where it's a little probably unhealthy and it's a little vain. And so because of that, I always try to be perfect. And I'll say one of the nucleuses of that is, like, me and my sister, we were burned when we were little in a fire. And
Sorry.
I have hey, it's just triumph to me now, but I can't believe I ever would feel like that, because as a young girl, I was so insecure about that. I have second degree burns over 60% of my body, and my sister had third degree burns on 50% of her body. And I was so conscious about that as a young girl growing up. I just felt like I looked like an alien. Like, some of my scars you can't even see to this day. They don't stand out as much. Like, see on my hand. I don't know. I gotta get it right in the camera. Look, you see that scar there? And
that doesn't look. That's like a birthmark to me.
No, but I have this in bigger patches, like on my leg, on my stomach. I have these second degree burns. Like I said, they've blended a little better since I've gotten older. But when I was younger, they were still really white and healing and stuff. So I just felt like I looked like an alien, and my skin wasn't pretty like everybody else's. And that was just one of the nucleuses that I allowed to be the things that I was extremely insecure about my look, the way I look. And so with that being said, I found myself trying to make everything perfect as I can make it, whether it was the way I was looking, the way I was sounding. And even though I am particular, I'm kind of particular, and this is not because I'm trying to be so big, I'm just kind of OCD. It's like I'm like that with everything, like, my eyebrows, everything. And that's not because I'm trying to do something for someone else or to come off a certain way. So it was like a little bit of that, but I also would try to have everything just so like perfect that I did do well. So it was, so to speak, take the attention off whatever flaws I had. So that bled into my singing. And I realized that when I was saying, because this album is not my first album, this is my sophomore album. And my first album, one of the things I was doing, I was trying to make sure that everything was, all my notes were, exact. I mean, I sung them, but, I didn't do nothing, like it just had to be on and stuff. With this album, in order for me to find my sound, it was weird. Like I tell my husband, like, I feel like a lot of stuff might be ugly that I sung. It might have an ugly sound to it, whatever, but that's what came out of me when I stopped prohibiting it. and finding me. And so I have accepted that. I think my sound is kind of like on YouTube. I describe myself as a tropical R&B grunge singer. That's probably the best way I could put it, because I kind of have those elements in my voice and I ran from them for so many years and I didn't let go. But see, but the way that pain was turning in me when I did this album, um, the sheets were off, all bets were off, and whatever was there came out. It was gonna come out or it was gonna stay in and kill me. And so it's funny that you say this sound. You know, my sound was birthed from pain and from tragedy and from trying to survive. And I just let go. And I still got some more to go. I don't think I have completely let loose, because I think I might scare somebody and myself, but I did really let go. And I'm pretty proud of me allowing myself to feel and have all of these ugly notes or whatever they were, because that's a part of my voice, it's a part of my sound. And yeah, it took me a long time to get to that. It took me a long time. So a lot of times when other artists say they're trying to find their sound and stuff, I think
Mhm.
a lot of us know where our sound is, and
Mhm.
we won't go there for different reasons. And all of that stuff is over with for me. That's yesterday for me. So
Amen. A lot of it is too because it people we're our own worst enemy. Like we're the first
right.
person who always, oh, that doesn't sound right. And a lot of people don't like to hear themselves, their own voice in terms of like talking or singing. I've heard that they just don't like to hear. So it's like hard to, I guess, like to get out of that moment. But then when you start to say, like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I feel is right and forget everything else. And that's what I think a lot of people, the originators, the people that came before everybody, that's why they sound
Mhm.
so distinctively as well, because they just did what was in their heart. They didn't care and they didn't allow people to get in their head. Like a lot of people now, sadly, you could tell it's very well put together to where there's
Mhm.
no type of, okay, where did you grow from it, like everything, nobody's perfect. You got to
Right.
see something from, okay, we want to see when you had a couple of strands of hair left out on the side, but that's okay. And then the next part, okay, I see her hair is like straight, okay, the evolution, because when it
Mhm.
just goes like to perfect, it's like, okay, how
Mhm.
can I
Mhm.
connect? How can I relate to that person? Because a lot
Right.
of artists are not relatable. And that's why a lot of people, it's hard for them to get following or get people to really support them because they're like, I don't really relate to this person.
Mhm.
They're relatable. That's what I've heard from people. And
Yeah.
I've noticed a little bit like, okay, I like this artist. This, I could feel this in their song. I might not know them, but I could feel they've been through some stuff.
Right. Yeah. And then I just also, like, on that same plane with this album, myself and my husband, who was my producer for this album, he's a musician,
Hmm.
and he's, engineer. He produced most of my album, and me and him, we had to learn so much. We had to learn so much about accepting what our sound, what our circumstances were, because you listen to somebody else's music, you listen to Rodney Jerkins, his songs, or you listen to Timbaland, or you listen to these other
Hmm.
productions, and you go to comparing yourself to it, and especially like, the sound, you may be like, well, well, mine doesn't sound like this, or why isn't it crisp right here? Why does the beat sound like that? Like,
Yeah.
this whole thing. But we had to like really like step back and embrace what we were, our sound and our circumstances. Here they are, Summer Walker and whoever else probably singing on $1 million microphones in these state-of-the-art studios. I recorded my album at home because I decided that I didn't want it to take me away from my children while they were grieving. My niece, I wanted to be in that home setting. I felt safe with whatever I was struggling with emotionally, and so I could have went into this other studio or did this situation. That's the environment that I recorded in, and I less is more, and the air was different in my house. The air was different, than what it is in So Def Studio. So it ain't gonna sound exactly like that. We have all of the basic equipment that they have that's needed, and the rest of it was circumstantial. And a lot of my songs, if you listen to some of my songs, you hear my bracelets. I never take these bracelets off. And my bracelets are in the song somewhere, and it sounds like it's in the music somewhere. And I remember my husband was like, "Hey, you want to redo this? And let's clean that up." I was like, Mm-mm. Now, if it messed it up completely, but I was like, no, just leave it. This is what was happening. It became a part of the music. It sounds like some kind of instrument in the music, and it would be my bracelets and or it was just a lot of different circumstances that I just, we just learned to say, hey, my mix sound different from other people's mixes. Like all of this comparison of like, well, this sound crisp, or her, why this sound like this, or why they stuff is like that, or it sound like this a little muffled, or that one mixed right. How you know what I wanted it to sound like? How you know that ain't what I wanted it to be? So every environment is different, every circumstance is different, and we embrace that during this album. And I don't feel it's not less than anybody else's project that was in $1 million studio on $1 million microphone, getting hors d'oeuvres and sushi served to them all day. I was in Indian style, sitting in the same chair I'm in doing the interview in, recording my album, broke, depressed, sad, whatever, and the product is still the same because it came from us. It came from my circumstances. It came from my environment. And it just taught me to appreciate those type of projects. And that's what I want people to know. Like, I don't want to hide my circumstances as to what I was under when I was recording, because I think that will, like you said, make it relatable. I am like you. I'm like you, and you're like me in so many ways. Like, people always even ask me like about my kids. They, oh my God, how you do it with 8 kids? How you do it with 8 kids? And I ask them, do you have kids? And they might say, oh yeah, 2. Same way you do it with them. It's just like, it just is what it is. I didn't plan it. Me and my husband was done at 4, but the TV broke. I'm just and we we have our kids. This is what we have, and they're just a part of my life. I don't leave them behind on anything. They like my limbs. I always tell people that they're like my limbs. So when I get in the shower, do I be like, okay, I'm gonna wash this butt cheek today and this arm and this toe? No, I wash my whole body. They just a part of my life. And the way I do it is the way I'm alive. I love them, and that's just it. So, I just want people to know that this is where everything came from. It came from a real place, a real person, and that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting.
Yeah, and that's good with the authenticity. Look, if I said that right, sorry y'all. Don't come for me, grammar people, English people.
Just
Anyway,
don't ask banana tomorrow.
So anyway, because I mean, it's really like literally with artists, like it is really like there's some where you're like, man, I really get that song. I really get that. And you touched on it, like it's all the same stuff that they use in the studio. It's just different environments, and you chose your environment, and that doesn't make it less or any more than anything else. And I think that if people had that type of mindset, not saying that people don't, because I definitely believe that people do have that, but I believe we know that there are some people who don't have that mindset because they're kind of fixated on trying to be like everybody else instead of just going into themselves and saying, you know what, this is what I am. This is what I'm going to do. And I bring something to the table. I'm enough, and I'm going to make that sound. And oh, well, whoever's going to like it is going to like it. The right people will like it. Whoever don't like it, oh, well. Because the whole organic thing, I think that's where people in artistry or trying to get into artistry, that's where they kind of left. Yeah, it's not there anymore. The organicness.
Yeah, I don't know. Music is real different now, and especially with ethnic women. Like I want to touch on this. Like, any interview somebody give me, I'm gonna make sure I slide this in. I don't know what this thing is about brown women and music entertainment in particular. We are the only ones exploited and over sexualized with our music. I don't know what this new thing is where everybody is performing in a gymnastics leotard. I am to it. I'm not judging nobody who does it, okay? And these nice, beautiful bodies, and I'm not judging a woman. I don't even feel no ways about a woman feeling confident and wanting to, you know, display herself in the way that she feels attractive and feminine or whatever. None of that. But I came up in an era where Whitney Houston had on, a maxi dress with a belt on and a lip above a sweat above her lip, and she going with the, a pretty set with the curls, and like I don't know. I came up where it was kind of glamorous. And I know some people like Tina Turner and Donna Summer, they had stretched the little limits with some of their little stuff, but it was all like really mysterious and sexy and not like raunchy or whatever.
Ratchet.
I just don't know what this era is, and I want to change the narrative, because I just don't see any other race of women in music that are twerking and just doing all of these things. I don't understand what that has to do with music, in particular, like, I want to be careful how I touch on this because you never know. You never know the separation between so many people that I talk about if I don't already know them or something like that. But I want to say something about the Chloe Bailey thing.
I knew you were gonna go because everybody talks about that. Everybody's been talking about that lately. I get it.
I watched Hallie and Chloe when they were younger. Me and my sister used to watch them on YouTube when they were young. And they were doing those videos, and I love them. I thought they were so talented. I still think they are. They are so talented, and they were so unique because they kind of had an opera type sound to their voice. And I love the contrast of seeing these little brown girls, but then they were singing like such classical and just beautiful notes, and they were so talented. And I was watching them, and then when Chloe made this like transition where she's a little like overtly sexual more than often, it didn't disturb me. Like, I'm not hating on her or nothing like that. I think she is gorgeous. I think her body is beautiful, and it's easier said than done, because if a lot of us had some of that stuff, we might be out there cutting up the same way and making some other excuse about it, like, oh, I just love myself, and you got some shorts in your booty. I don't know, but what the thing that disturbs me the most is because it's so unnecessary.
He has talent. That's what it is. Like, and you know what? With this album, I'm sorry, like, she doesn't have to do that. Like, and it was just like she's catering to people who don't know music. Like, I hate this Zennials.
I think
no offense, but she don't got to do that because
she don't have to do it today.
She don't got to do that. Like, literally, like
I noticed her sister is coming out a little more, and she's having on more like sexual things, and she looks beautiful. I'm not even faulting her for like what you need to feel like a woman, and that's a part of, like, we need that sometimes. We need to feel sexy. We need to look sexy. We need to have some affirmations a little bit sometimes, but it's just how overtly it is. It just disturbs me. And this is in general. This is not like just Chloe. I'm using her as an example, but it disturbed me because when I tell you, it's just so unnecessary, because she's actually so talented and so gorgeous. Like, do you know you can turn heads with your clothes on?
That's why I just, like, everybody who like had this discussion with me, like even like off the camera or whenever, like, we all said the same thing. Like, you don't have to do that because you are so talented. You have what a lot of people wish they had. And not only that, but with that, I wish that she would have got with, like, maybe in terms of song choices, they could have like did like they did with Janet Jackson, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, somebody they could have because they're great at finding people the sounds and working with it. I think that would have been great for her because the song choices would have been way better because she has the voice. It's just the song choices are more so catered towards the zennials instead of like, and it's not really for us to get. That's what someone is always telling me. I said, I get that, but at the end of the day, a lot of people that were older, like millennials, I know I'm a millennial, and people like before that, baby boomers and maybe some other ones liked them for the sound they had. So it was kind of like, if who cares if somebody don't like what sound you have? You had a good brand, you had a good following of people. So I just didn't like the song
She actually
choices.
got more now, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the system is behind her. It's so many intricate things
Mhm,
involved, especially like me knowing being kind of on the inside,
mhm,
and then being a female, being
mhm,
young.
mhm,
There's things that when I was younger that I did with music, whether I
mhm,
succumbed to putting up like more provocative picture of myself,
mhm,
or something because I seen everybody else was doing it, and I'm just trying to get
mhm.
noticed and stuff. So I've done things that I'm not proud of, and I've been
Yeah.
sucked in, and it's a lot of variables there. It's a lot of intricacies there. I don't know what it is involved with it, but it's just not just her, period. Like
Mhm,
that thing that is being done, whether that's her choice or whatever the case,
mhm,
because it's
mhm,
yielding results too. You get all the followers, you get all of the
mhm,
acknowledgement, and in that in turn it turns into money. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what's kind of what making the world go round in so many ways, like so it's like it's a lot of things there. That just disturbs me so bad
mhm,
because it's just not done to other
mhm.
race of women in our country like it is to us. It is like isolated to brown.
Yeah.
It's isolated to that, and that just disturbs because that's what I'm up against. That's what I'm up against. I'm up
Yeah.
saying, like people say, people cry to keep from crying. I'm up here singing to keep
Mhm,
from crying. I'm up
mhm,
here letting my soul bleed on every
mhm,
microphone I
mhm,
touch, every stage I
mhm.
touch, and I have to, they're gonna listen to me, or you gonna look at her clap her booty over there. It's like this is what I'm up against.
Yeah.
It's so sad because it's just I just want that to change. And of my 8 children,
Mhm,
I have 6 daughters.
mhm,
And kids do what they see and not what you tell them.
mhm,
And they see what they see me do. And they see the things that I have accomplished and where I have gotten. And that
mhm,
has been not on my back and with most of my clothes on. And they see that, and they're gonna know that I'm enough. Like, I don't have to do this. Yeah, my body might be nice, but I don't have to do that. Nobody does men like that. When they're producers or whatever the case is, they just take them for face value. Ooh, they're a good producer. They sing good or something. Something. It's always something attached to us. And I understand that the mood of everything, and
mhm,
we are a force. We are a
mhm,
force. Women are eye candy. We eye candy.
mhm,
We look at other women and be like, oh, she look good, is she pretty, whatever.
mhm,
So I know it's a big intricate force, but I am determined to put my little footprint in on that. I'm
mhm,
determined. And if I can just get the exposure that I need, which, and I know Asante Works is making that happen. If I can just get the exposure, it's like you crack the door, I'm taking the hinges off. They've been trying to keep the door closed on me for the longest. All I need is a crack. All I need is a crack, and then we gonna see what it is. We're gonna see what it is, and it's gonna open a way for so many other females, young girls, seasoned women, whatever. It's gonna open the door for them to finally get what they deserve, to be, heard and to be seen,
mhm.
and let's get back to the reals. What's really sexy about women, like the secret things that you don't see and that you don't know, and they have to leave it to the imagination or the mystery, or there's so much stuff that's sexy. A conversation is sexy. Is spiritual things are sexy. Loyalty is sexy. Um oddness, uniqueness is sexy. It's so many things that are like wildly sexy that those other things are just, it's not even sexy. That's really not sex. It's like perversion. So like
There's no mystery anymore. Like to certain, like back in the day, I used to like for instance, I like it now, but like, so when Prince came out, he would always have innuendos, like, okay, darling Nikki. Like a lot of people don't know this, but his song, that song was one of the songs that pushed the whole parental advisory to be on
mm,
albums because Tipper Gore, Al Gore, the vice president or whatnot, his wife found out his daughter was in the room listening to Darling Nikki. And she was like,
mm-mm,
oh no, we about to shut that down. And so they put
mm,
the parental advisory out there. So Prince was one of the people that pushed that movement. I mean, Prince right there, I mean, he was something else, like just awesome. But
Prince was the man.
I mean, the whole innuendos in the songs, that's what made you like wonder. Like, for instance, next, like I was in middle school and I'm like, okay, I did not know what they were talking about. Step back,
Right.
you getting kind of close, feel a little poke coming through. I'm like, huh, that's what they said. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I got older. I'm like, okay. So it makes you laugh
Right.
now because it was that mystery. But now it's like bam in your face. Like, you gonna want this. We want you to do
Right.
this. And it's just like very distasteful at times. Because I remember, sadly, God rest his soul, but George Michael, they tried to over sexualize him and he stopped. He was like, I'm no longer gonna be in my videos. I'm gonna have models in my video because they were trying to push that agenda with him. And it got
Wow.
to the point where he was like very sad. He just like, I watched his documentary and it was really sad. Like he just really wanted to make music and they just really just was, doing him really dirty.
That's how I was earlier in the industry when I was young. That happened to me. That happened to me. And that's why it's now at this time of my life is the first time that I have like that control. But that happened to me. People didn't want, I
Mm,
have been the same that I am now. The same as a matter of fact, I think I might have been even more valuable in the sense that, I was younger, I was
mhm,
more attractive,
mhm,
and it was just so many things I had on the table that could have been coupled, in a
mhm,
tasteful way, but they only wanted the trash from me. And if I didn't give that, they would just kick me to the curb. Like I have had, it's so many
mm,
people that are it's some people that are just like in the industry now that are large, large. I won't even say names. And they were, I was in early times, I was affiliated with them with
mm,
music, and they wanted to exploit me. They wanted me to do certain things, and I just would not do it. As a young girl, I'm so happy that I just never wavered from that. I don't know what made me so strong in that, but I was weak in so many other things. But I just would not do it. I would not waver. I don't know. It's because I just always had something to give that I'm giving now on my own merit. But I always had something to give, and I wasn't satisfied with either let me give what I got the way I'm going to give it, or I know it was no. And because of that, I was under the radar in a lot of ways. And some of these people, like I said, right now to this day, they know who they are, and they could say a word, they could say a word or just, do one little public, and then
mhm,
everything will just change. But
mhm,
they're sitting back and they're watching me, and they like, I'm just let her do it on her own. Let her do it on her own and see if she can do it, because
mhm,
they just can't bring themselves to even publicly support me in the way that they still believe in me. They've still said these things to me, but they can't bring themselves to support me publicly and give me that platform to let me take off, because they have no attachment to it. They have no control over it. And I don't know, it's kind of like, well, they don't want to be like, they don't want it in their face what they tried to do, and for me to win in a way that they told me I could never win. So we will see. We will see.
yeah, this music industry is interesting because, like, I mean, they do it with the rap music too. Like, why is it that with the rap music, they put all these songs out that are not that great. And the rap movement, they forgot what the rap movement was really about. Like if you go back and like look at it, it wasn't about what they put out here now. Now, I mean, there's ones that have the continuation of what it really was about, but we know the ones that are doing new stuff,
Right.
it's getting them killed. I mean, the stuff that happened is really sad. And so, but if you look at who is behind that's running it, the machine, we know, okay, why is it that you allow this propaganda to continue when you know it's killing people? It's killing browns and blacks and browns or whatnot. It's killing us. But
Let's,
yet
let's
you
talk
put you
about
put
how
that
they
out there. You
let's
put
talk
that
about
out
how they
there.
got how they put life insurance plans on these rappers. I don't know if
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
really know that. These major record labels, they put life insurance plans on them instantly. That's the first thing they do. They're
Mm-hmm.
signing contracts and stuff that goes along with it. And that's insane to me. Now, on the flip side, like I get it. I get it. It is a product. This is business, da da da. But they are putting life insurance plans on these young black and
Mm-hmm.
brown guys. And yeah.
Yeah, it's really
And
sad because like
we got to wake up.
it's sad because literally and people don't see it, but I think enough people see it to where it is a problem. And people are allowing people to control the narrative and it needs to change. And not only that, but you have these kids that are growing up and they're like, oh, I want to be like such and such. And it's like, no, you don't want to be like such and such. And then you have a child that's dead. So it's like, no, it's not cute. It's not anything cute about what they're promoting now. And to me, I'm just like, oh Lord, let me turn this off. Like I don't even listen to the radio. I listen to. I'm very I'm very strategic and funny about what I listen to. Like I'll pick up stuff from online. Like if I'm on IG, like okay, I like this indie music. I like this person. I like this. But I don't listen to a lot of the hip hop stuff. I listen to some of it, but I don't listen to a lot of it. And not only that, but with the whole sexualization of women, I noticed that back when some of the majority came out, it was a transition. Like they did the first album, and then boom, they went into sexy. Like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, they pushed that. Yeah, but as for Black women, it wasn't like that. Like it was either you had a choice. Like okay, you either do it or you're not gonna have a career. And some people have even said it. Like that's why they stopped because they didn't want to do, they were like, I'm not selling my soul to the devil. I'm not doing this. I'm not taking off my clothes. I'm not um going to do this. I'm trying to make music. And then so other people they decided they go the independent route and they've been great doing it. So kudos for them.
Right. Well, we don't need the labels and stuff like that anymore. I mean, they still play a role, but you don't ultimately need them. You need to first have something, have an actual gift or a talent, but that's actually secondary, which is
That's
crazy.
true.
It's
Yeah.
secondary, but you got to have a team of
Yep.
people around you, and that no don't necessarily have to be a business team. It can involve your husband or wife, your children, someone who loves you. But then you have to have a balance. You got to have the business team, and in my situation, I think I got what I need. I think I
That's
got what I need
good.
for the Santi works, and everything else I'm bringing to the table. And yeah, I just
That's good. I mean, that's what everybody wants to have, that good mix, that good support system. Because if you don't have it, it really can make or break you. It really can, to the point where, I mean, people are like fighting for their masters right now. The whole 360 contracts or whatnot, where they got to make so many albums to get their masters, and
I own all
that's
my masters.
sad.
I own all my masters, baby. So
And
hey,
that's the good thing, yeah. And
I mean,
people don't know that you can negotiate that. A lot of people don't know, like you can negotiate that in your contract, because a lot of people that are coming out, they're looking at it like, oh, I want to be a star. Some people are, but then other people are looking at it as a business. Like you got Rihanna,
right.
she was, oh my God, awesome. They still asking for those albums, but guess what? We ain't gonna get them anytime soon. She don't gotta put no more out if she don't want to. She's a billionaire, which was smart. And I think they need to teach people about the business. Anything that you're going into, learn the business about it, so they can never take anything from you if you know the business that well.
Yep. It's so true. So very, very true. But my approach to it is business. Um it's business, but I have to be like I have to have a synergy with it, or I'm not gonna do it. So depending on like how muddy the waters get, I'll step back, because like I said, I have other things that I'm doing. Music is just a part of the arts for me. And I love music and I love singing. And I'm be doing it forever till I take my last breath. I'm gonna be singing. Cause I be singing everywhere. I be singing all in the house, at the store. My kids be like, "Mommy, please don't sing, don't do what you about to do in this by over here by this meat." I be singing everywhere all the time. So, I don't need that type of machine behind me, just muddying up the waters and murking up my life. It's some things I ain't willing to sacrifice. My life goes God, family, then everything in that
Yeah,
order.
as long as you have God first, you'll always make it through.
In
So
that order.
yeah,
In that order.
yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we gonna have to start wrapping up, because like look, I
I
don't want them like, oh
I
look, she
told you I got the curve.
did.
I had you going.
Yeah. But I will definitely come back. And
Yes.
again, everybody, make sure you support Clowette. Make sure you go get the books, because I know a lot of y'all got kids. A lot of my people's family, friends, stuff. Y'all got kids. You got some children.
Yes.
Your children that need to read, and
Yes.
yes.
I wrote and illustrated the books, and my books are self-published. So, yep. I don't have no middleman. I run all my costs. My books are hand binded, hardback, beautifully made. Yep. And support
Yes.
mothers. That's how I do.
Yes.
I say I work from home.
Yeah.
I work from home, and I bake from home, and I do everything from home. So,
yep. So follow her on IG and
yeah.
follow her on YouTube, and make sure you go stream.
Go stream Happy Anyway.
Yes.
Be happy anyway. Healing on purpose. Being happy on purpose. Living despite. Let's go.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. And this has been great. And again, make sure you follow and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Facebook and I mean on my Facebook page. Please support me. Support the podcasters and
You're
all
gonna have
that
to bring
stuff.
me back when I'm doing more stuff, and we can have some more conversations. I like conversations.
Also, you on tour. The tour is gonna be coming. That's what we forgot. That tour
That's
is coming.
the winter is
Yeah.
starting. I'm thinking for it to kick off winter 2023 in the US. It's gonna be just an intimate. And I love you too. Thank you so much. Yeah,
it's
gonna be an intimate tour. I'm right now looking at maybe about 7 cities in the United States. I mean, it could give or take, but right now we're just looking at like 6 or 7 cities, and then I'm gonna go international, and that's even smaller. It's like only a few places we have so far. So, it might pick up, but I'm into the quality, not the quantity.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna have that tour coming up. That's gonna be a promo tour for my album. And hopefully y'all are just gonna keep hearing stuff about this. Hashtag Sang for Keisha. I gotta put that in. That's my movement. My sister, her name was Keisha. Hashtag Sang for Keisha. It's about transferring negative energy and transferring pain into beautiful creative works. It represents that. So you take lemons and you put it on lobster.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you, everybody. And y'all have a wonderful evening. And y'all catch me soon. I've been taking a break a little bit, so I'll let y'all know when y'all
Okay.
see me when y'all see me.
Okay.
Audience. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you. And I will definitely support and yeah. So I'm in DC, so yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But I go to
I got family.
California a lot though. I come to California a lot. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got family in DC though. My mom's sister live here.
Okay.
So
Okay. But thank you, everybody. I'm ending the broadcast now, y'all.
all right. Bye.